Okay, so welcome to the very first video of the Disciplined Trader. I should say the first long form video. And I've been telling you so many times that every day, if you show up to your personal account, you don't need to make it public. You do your analysis, it's going to improve your trading. So I'm going to start this new series of long form format, which I'm going to make public so it can help you guys how you can channelize your energy, how you can build that discipline that is required to become successful. And once you start doing this, you'll see the magic of it. So let's jump into it. One of the most traded things across all traders, we're going to look into the metals, that's gold and silver. Let's jump into the analysis, what I do, how I do it, and what happens in these videos. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to be dressed up perfect. You can do it in your sweatshirts. You can do whatever the way you like. I turn on the camera so I can listen to myself and see how I did the analysis, and I do refer back to them. So let's jump into it. My usual process is I want to know where the market's moving. So let's look at gold and see what's happening. It's an important level at the moment, but I've got the daily time frame here, and the trend looks like it's going down, isn't it? Yeah. So the trend is currently down. But what's important to very far, it tried to go up, then it tried to break this low, which I'm considering at around 4400. It couldn't break this, went back up, then came down, couldn't reach this, then tried to take out this last high, which it failed, and tried to break the low again, but it's bounced back sharply. So my scenario on the overall trend here is two things. I don't know what's going to happen, so we work in probabilities. That's how I trade. So either the market goes up, it takes both of these highs over here and makes a new high, which would be, you take out this high, you take out this high, you take out this high, and you have a new high somewhere here trying to reach this rejection zone. This is what I believe is one scenario number one. Scenario number two is you see this big wick here that shows to me maybe it's going to come down. This is just a panic buying or someone changing their positions, which led to have this buying come in place. So the second scenario which is coming to my mind and my analysis is it goes back down again and then it creates a new low. So what does that mean? If it comes down, how low can it go? That's what my question is. I want to say somewhere around here, which is the $4,000 mark. So if it comes down until this point, I'm comfortable and I want a new low. Where's the new low I'm looking at? Wow, this is too much low. 3,500. Probably not possible for someone who is doing intraday or swing. So what we're going to look at, what's the possible next targets are here. So I just mark out my targets. This is my long-term weekend strategy. So this gives me an idea of what the long-term trend is looking like, right? So what we're going to do next is I'm going to look at my strategy. We need to put in some checks that I do. My checks is you start off by the long-term view and then you kind of go into the shorter term view. So as of now, I don't know where the market is going. So I need to work in probabilities. What's going to happen here? How the international market's looking. So let's jump into it. So my analysis says there's going to be good selling and there's uncertainty in the market and gold has always been there. So my bias over here is I'm going to go on the longer side and it's going to take out the high here. That's what my current bias is, and I'm going to try and make up my trends accordingly. So let's go into 2 hours time frame and let's see what's happening here. The first thing I want to do is I want to look at the trend. What's happening here? So how do you identify the trend for someone who's pretty new? What you do is you look at the high. So this is the last high, if you say, but most people don't look at this. So you find what's happening here. So this is the low, that's the new high. Then you find the next, this is the next low. And then after that, if you move backwards, you need to find the next low. So after this, it's way too far. So you look at the next high that you can find. So this is the next high over here. So what we want to do is if I want to take a long trade, I want the trend to be uptrend. So what uptrend means is the low needs to be higher. So higher lows, higher highs. So this is my last low. After that, the one before is this one. So the low is moving high and the highs are also moving high. What else is important is it's broken the last over here. This was the high. Before that, the trend was going down. So if I mark this up, let's say this is going down, up, down, up, down. So what this means is this is high, then the next high is lower than this. So these are lower highs, lower lows. So it was downtrend. Now it's turned into an uptrend because the lows are moving high and the highs are also moving high. So the trend is working in favor of me. So what is it that I'm going to look into next? That's really important. So what I want to do is I want to find out where I can make my next trade. So my next trade can be at this important step, which is here. This is the support where I want to enter. So my trades come into 5 or 15 minutes. That's where I want to enter. So what's a good place for me to enter? A good zone where the market can pivot. So I can say the trend is completely in my favor in 15 minutes. This is a big move from here, this area. So my first trade that I want to take is going to be from here. If the price comes to this section, which is a good demand zone for me, this is going to be my first trade in gold. And second trade, which is going to be, if it goes to stop loss, second trade is going to be from here. This is my second demand zone. In this video, I'm not covering how I do the demand zone, how I mark them. This is more about showing up. So if the price comes around 4525, I'm making an entry according to my risk management, how the price is moving. I've got at least 7 mandatory checks I do before I enter the trade. You put in the entry price, you put in the stop loss, you put in the target, and then you watch the screen. I don't close the screen because I've built that discipline. I don't need to get away because we are not gamblers, right? And the second trade, if this goes stop loss, you wait. I see how the momentum is. If it's going too fast down, then we need to wait. Where we can get our entries somewhere here, not all the way down here, then it's going the other way. So these are my two trades planned for Monday. We don't know if it's going to trigger or not. Let's move on to silver and see what the trend's looking like. Usually it's similar, but let's do it. I have not marked anything in here. If I look into the daily trend, it doesn't say much. What's the trend here? I can't make it out. Can you guys figure out what the trend is? I don't know. If you don't know, move into a higher time frame. What does it say? It's choppiness. Probably go monthly. What the trend is? Definitely up. Monthly trend is up. Maybe slow weakness. You go a little bit back. Consolidation. Daily, if I have to be very picky, what the trend is looking like, it made a high, it came down at the same place. So still choppiness. You go into 2 hours and that's where you try to build a trend. So the trend was going down. Now it's reversed and it's gone sideways. Sideways is something I personally like as an intraday trader. I don't do that much positional. Sideways means it's going to blast off. When it does, we don't know. So you need to be careful of your stop losses. Currently, it's stuck in this range. As soon as it breaks out of this range, that's where my trade is. It has to go up, solid candle up. So it needs to make a big green candle over here. We're going long, stop loss below, big target. If it comes down, stop loss above this, big target. So that's a plan in silver. The most important thing is show up, make the video, and then you make another video just for yourself or you note it down. Did I follow my plan? What happened when the market started? What happened when I put in the money? Am I trading prop firm? Am I trading with real money? What happens when I lose my trade? What happens when everything goes to hell? What happens if there's a news and the market just goes exploding in your favor, but you hit the target, you don't get the jackpot? You write everything down. And the reason I say this is my fifth book for 2026. That's how much I write in about my trades. That's how you do it. You need to make that journal and you will feel the change. And yeah, I think that's it for me for this video. I don't have hooks and shit like that. If you do like such videos, hit subscribe. Thanks.